Welcome back, Wolfpack Brillis here, and a lot of people have been waiting for this video. Everyone was wondering how I'm going to make the heart-shaped Pokemon work, so here it is, Alomomola. Oh wait, you wanted Love Disc? Well, after looking at Love Disc, it just doesn't have any stats or any way of really working out, unfortunately. Alomomola kind of looks like it, so we're going to get away with that, because Alomomola has some really cool stats. Also, its name is a palindrome. It's the same forward and backwards. Way to go, Game Freak. When we look at it, the defenses, we actually don't see the craziest defenses but those hit points. 165 on the hit points means that this Pokemon is going to do some serious work, and it's just something that we're going to, like, you just see tank. You don't have too many on the offenses, speed doesn't really matter, but with that 165 we're going to be able to boost hard, get a high defense, get a high special defense, and we're going to be good to go from there. Look at its typing, water type. We have water type things because we've seen a lot of water type Pokemon. Love Disc would have been a water type anyway, so I mean, it's just that at the end of the Hoenn Pokedex, it's just, it has too much water. See what I did there? No, it doesn't. Shut up, IGN. So let's go and hop into Pokemon Showdown, where we see Alomomola has a lot of just crazy, tanky, stally stupidity behind it. That it has Wish Protect. So first off, you're sustaining with this huge amount of hit points, and then not even investing to your hit points, you're well over 400, which means that you're going to be giving over half to almost a third of almost any Pokemon on your team with the Wish. Like you wish and then switch, and you're good to go from there, and then you just have Protect if you want to stay in, and really you just wall out your opponent. That with your water typing, you only have 2 weaknesses, so you're going to be able to tank it up really well. Regenerator means you can switch out safely, switch back in. Protect with leftovers is giving you a lot of health. And then you just have Scald and Toxic. That if they're a physical threat, Scald them. That if they can't be Toxic, like they're a Poison type Pokemon or they're a Toxic type Pokemon, Scald them. Once you get that burn, now you have that free switch out, Wish, switch, and then just pivot from there. Or you just stall it out with Toxic. Set up Toxic, now you have Wish Protect. And if your opponent isn't like totally super owning you, you get that switch out, and then you can set up against your opponent there, start to beat him down, go back into Alomomola. Because of Regenerator, get a lot of health back, and then you just do stupid things like that. It's heavy stall. Heavy, like, this is true stall. That there really isn't a win condition in this Pokemon itself. You're just really trying to drag out the game and make your opponent not be able to do anything. They're eventually going to status burn almost your opponent's entire team, unless they have something that's huge special hitting on this thing that's super effective, which doesn't really come around too often. And the only real way you can stop it is by setting up against it harder, which is kind of hard to do because you are also getting status and Protect walled. Now there is another set you can run, Wish Protect Scald Knockoff. So instead of Toxic, we're looking at just throwing out that Knockoff and being just pure defensive tank. That you're removing items while going for that burn, while taking no damage from that. And then because of Regenerator, I was thinking, well, go for another Regenerator Pokemon like a Mungus. You can run Black Sludge and leftovers like this, and now you have a safe special switch in. So if you see a special Pokemon that threatens Alomomola, go into a Mungus, and since Alomomola is weak against Grass and Electric, Amoonguss is going to tank those hits with a not very effective, and it's going to be a huge special defense tank. High amount of hit points, high amount of special defense, and then it can set up as well. It can throw out the Toxic, it can use Giga Drain for sustain, it has Clear Smog, so if your opponent's setting up, clear that away. Then you throw down the Toxic, and you just burn them down with that. After that, you have Foul Play. So between these two Pokemon, I don't really see much that your opponent can do. Like, I haven't seen an Alomomola and an Amoonguss kind of setup, but it seems like it's just almost too busted. That you have Regenerator on both of these Pokemon. So they switch out, gain a third of their health, switch into a very awesome Pokemon that can just also gain health through Black Sludge, Giga Drain, or whatever. Also, Alomomola can Wish into the Amoonguss, and then just kind of let it set up. That's free Toxic, you have Burn on the Scald, you get Foul Play, which does a lot of damage to a lot of Pokemon, and then you just, if you see a threat, oh, Amoonguss is weak against fire, Alomomola gets to tank that up because it's a water type. So after that, you can set up the Wish Protect, get all of your health back. It just seems like between these two Pokemon, you have great defensive coverage and a lot of health sustain, and you're just going to make your opponent rage quit. Also, instead of Amoonguss, you can run Reuniclus. Reuniclus actually goes for that win condition. That's also a huge special defense tank with Regenerator, and between this, you can start setting up Calm Minds, you know. Go for 1 or 2 Calm Minds, Psyshock's going to start doing some damage. It has Recover for itself, and it's just a really solid Pokemon for it. Now, you can also kind of change the EVs around, that if you want Reuniclus to come in and stay. Let's go and look at what we're... Calm Nature? Yeah, Calm is what we're looking for, and you can just kind of go for that Calm Nature, put a bit more into defense, maybe a bit into Calm, that way at least you have something to switch in specially. set up that Calm Mind, go into the Recover, and then now you have Psyshock, Sweep potential. Dark type Pokemon do wall you out, so you might want to consider Focus Blast. Now between that, you're going to have a lot of coverage. So this is kind of the way to run Focus Blast, not having the best accuracy, but since Reuniclus is meant to take a hit, I think you can kind of get a pass on this one. But then, you know, you have Recover, you have a lot of good things. I like the idea of Lumberry. That way, if you feel a status coming in, you can switch into the status and be good. That if they waste a turn, that's a free Calm Mind, something like that. That's really like the only thing I see beating Alomomola, is that if this thing's been on the field for, well, actually no, not even Toxic will beat it if you think about it. Because if the timer gets, or if the Toxic burn gets really high, you switch into one of these Regenerator Pokemon, resets the Toxic, gives it a lot of its health back. Amoonguss can't even be poisoned. This is just absurd. So I mean, we have, like, if you've used this Pokemon and you've seen it in battle, it's just a brutal wall that drags the game out. It's one of the most despicable Pokemon to use, and it really just shows, like, I'm here to stall. I'm here to maybe even just make my opponent leave the game, like, just DC on that one, because you don't want to fight against this thing, and if you don't have any options for it, you're really just fighting a losing battle. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and that's how you use Alomomola. Sorry about the Love Disguise, but I mean, if we look at it really quick, there's nothing here, like, on the stats. Its best thing is speed into the Swift Swim, but it doesn't have any defensive boost. It doesn't have much, so I couldn't deliver. If you guys enjoyed the video, I hope you all have a nice day.